Hey, Shalom family at this time. May the peace of Yah come upon you. We learn to obey Him. This is a very important video I must bring forth to you at this time, brothers and sisters. In this time period we are in, great times of trouble upon our nation, brothers and sisters. But even in this midst of trouble, the Father is awakening His people to His light, His truth, His words, brothers and sisters, and what we must do and how we must return to Him. Not just return to Him in captivity, but also return to Him in the land where our ancestors came from. It's very important, brothers and sisters. And through the scripture shows us how we must get there. And Yah promised to send you the Messiah among you, not from some heaven above you, but among you on earth, to show you the plans of Yah, that we all must return to Yah, Zion, where we came from, brothers and sisters. It's very important, brothers and sisters. And Yah showed us how the nation is going to help us once we gather together. Yes, we gather together in the land of captivity. The Messiah job is to gather you, to call, to make the call, to rally, to get organized. And then Yah said He's going to aid us. He's going to send a nation to aid us, to help us. Return back to Zion, back to the East Coast. We must go through the wilderness to renew the covenant. Many read that in the book they call it Yah. The book called Yah, but they call it Jeremiah chapter 31. So you must go there and read these things, brothers, to get familiar with the prophecies of Yah, the prophetic vision that He gave to the prophets of old. That is for us and for our knowledge today to learn and for our guidance to go home, to return home, our instructions. So all things are done by knowledge, brothers and sisters. Even building a house, framing up a house, even laying down the foundation before you start putting up the frame work of the house. In architecture, you must know how to design this house to the specification of the owner or the builder. So you see, these are things we got to know. It's a lot of proponents, a lot of people play into building a house, brothers and sisters. We must know that. So it's a lot of instructions, a lot of ingredients. Just like you want to make a pie, you must put together and then put it in the oven and let it bake. So these things we must know. We must learn to follow everything in detail. Yah is very detailed. He laid out our plan, His plan, how to return home, and by whom will take you home, and gave the sign. And who is the sign of His salvation that gonna bring you out of captivity? It's all in the scriptures, brothers and sisters. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 10 to 12, 10 to 14. Micaiah chapter 2, verse 12 to 13. It's in there, brothers and sisters. It's laid out. So many different scriptures showing you how Yah going to deliver us and by whom. Just like Yah told them in Mizraim before I get into my message, when they was in Egypt, He going to deliver them. They prayed out. They cried out to Yah. So Yah opened the eyes of Moshe in the wilderness, brothers and sisters, and told him, I'm going to send you to go and deliver my people, to bring my people out of Mizraim. I'm going to work all these signs before Pharaoh, before he eventually lets you go. So all of these things took place, brothers and sisters. But we're not in Mizraim, brothers and sisters. We in multitude of nations. And Yah said He going to give you the Messiah to gather you. The end time Messiah, Yazidek. And you remember Yah 23, verse 5 to 6, you see the name of the Messiah. So the Messiah going to tell you all of these things when He appear on the scene. Who I am. These are things you must comprehend. Begin to know, to accept the words of Yah, brothers and sisters. You see all the terrible things going on around you. How the nation is killing one another. Yah said there's going to be wars. This is not on the day of Yah yet. That's what we're getting into now. I'm going to show you the day of Yah. Because many of our people, because of the false New Testament, talk about the blood moon, but in the wrong time period. We don't have to look for the blood moon in captivity. I'm going to show you that too as well, brothers and sisters. So we're going into this right here. I'm going to start off right here In the book they call Joel, but his real name is YAHYL, Yah strength. So we're dealing with the truth, brothers and sisters. So let's get into this right here. In chapter 2, and I'm going to show you the restoration of Yah playing right here. This is the prophetic vision that come from the prophet right here. In verse 12 it starts right here, say, that is why Yah say, turn to me now while there is time. Give me all your heart. See, Yah want our hearts, our emotions. See, he know each and one of you. See, that's why another scripture tell you, even your own heart gonna condemn you. Because according to your heart is according to which direction you're gonna move, according to what you allow, what spirit you allow to enter into your mind, into your heart, to cause you to move. So these are things you must be aware of, brothers and sisters, even about yourself. What's in your heart, you're gonna know. Because if Yah is in your heart, you're gonna obey Yah and move and do everything in detail what Yah tell you to do. If Yah not in your heart, you're gonna do what somebody else told you to do, like keep Christmas, Thanksgiving that is coming. You're gonna fall in the ways of the European man or whatever nation you are from, but not Yah in your heart. See, because your heart is a part of you, and Yah want you, each one of us, from our mind, our heart, our being, to follow him. Because he created us, brothers and sisters, to be in his likeness. That's what he told the first beings. I created you in my image and in my likeness to follow him. That's why he told the first two beings to follow him, to obey him. And he gave them instructions to obey, but they failed. So we're going to get into this right now, no more delay. So let's get into this, because this is very important to set this instructions and this knowledge of the truth straight, that you may rehearse this and know this. Because the lying spirit came out and lied to you. So we must know the words of Yah carefully. So right here, see, when you know your condition you are in now, look at your condition. Everybody focus where we at and where we not at. We not in the land, ruling our own land. So keep that in mind when you know the time frame you're in. So when you read these scriptures, you'll see the time frame the Father talking about. If this came to truth, if it came to pass or it's not coming to pass. So what you're going to see, what hasn't come to pass yet, what we got to walk into and go into by obedience of Yah's word. So right here, let's get it. It said, that is why Yah say, turn to me now while there's time. Give me all your hearts. Come with fasting. See, he's telling you to come with fasting. Not stay still. Come with fasting, weeping, and mourning. See, because our condition, see. Let your remorse tear at your hearts and not your garments. Return to Yah, your Barah. They got God, but it's Barah, our Creator. For he is merciful. They got grace, but he is merciful. That's all they had to put. They had to put gracious, but they put that, but he's merciful. Or you can put the word kind or careful, and merciful. He is not easily angered. He is full of kindness and anxious not to punish you. You see that? Who knows, perhaps even yet he will decide to let you alone and give you a blessing instead of his terrible curses. So keep that in mind. So perhaps he will give you so much that you can offer your grain and wine to Yah as before. If they sound a trumpet in Zion, call a fast together, all the people together for the solemn meeting. Bring everyone. And say the Zaquin, they got elder, but it's the Zaquin, the children, even the babies. Call the bridegroom from the quarters and the bride from her privacy. And say the priests and the ministers of Barah. See, the priests are the ministers of Barah, will stand between the people and the altar, weeping. They will pray, spare your people, O our Barah. Don't let the heathens rule them, for they belong to you. Don't let them be dishonored. See, they got disgrace, dishonored by the taunts of the heathens, which is the nations, who say, where is their bara? Where is this bara of theirs? How weak and helpless he must be. See that? That's a very important statement. How the nations look at us and to our and about our Creator, Bara. It said, then Yah will pity his people. See, it said, then Yah will have mercy on his people and 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 be indignant for the honor of his land. See, he talking about that land. And he will reply, see, I am sending you much corn and wine and oil to fully satisfy your need. He said, no longer will I make you a laughing stock among the nations. See, he's showing how he can restore us in his land. I will remove the armies from the north and send them far away. I will turn to them. I will turn them back into the parched wastelands where they will die. You see that? The Europeans came from the north, so keep that in mind. And they are in our land today, so keep that in mind. It's a half should be driven into the Dead Sea, and the rest into the Mediterranean. See, Thomas Sea, which is on the west coast of us. It said, then their rotten stench will rise upon the land. And Yah has done a mighty miracle for you. See? It said, fear not my people. Be glad now and rejoice, for he has done amazing things for you. All this coming to pass. It said, let the flocks and the herds forget their hunger, and pasture will return green again. See? He talking about our land. We're in the land. It said, let me keep reading. It said, the trees will bear fruit, and the fig trees, grapevines will flourish once more. It said, rejoice, O my people of YAHYL. See? Sure, we in the land. I lost my focus. Let me see, can I move it a little bit to regain this focus here? It said, rejoice, O my people. So, okay, let's see, can I move over here? Keep getting too much interference with the light. Let me get it. It said, rejoice, O my people. Rejoice in Yah, your Bara. For the rains he sends are tokens of forgiveness. See that? Upon our crops. It said, once more the autumn rains will come, as well as those of spring. The threshing floors will pile high again with wheat. See, this is all the restoration he's talking about in the land. And the press overflow with olive and the wine, locusts ate. He said, my great destroying army that I sent against you. He said, once again, you will have all the food you want. Praise Yah. See, hallelujah. Who does the miracles for you. See, we in the land, he doing anything for us. He said, never again will my people experience disasters such as this. See? And you will know that I am here among my people. See, in YAHYL Yah. That I alone am Yah, your Bara, your creator. And my people should never again be dealt a blow like this. You see that? Showing we're in the land of Yah. And he's restoring things to us. He's sending rains upon the lands. And after I have poured out my rains again. See, he said after. So he's showing you when we home and he poured out that rain to restore us in the land. So keep that. This is what they call the latter rain. And when you send out the rain are down blessings on us in the land. So keep that in mind. We got to return this for this to take place. Now we talking about after. See, now you're going to learn after just take place when y'all people will prophesy. Showing right there this state. We don't have no new prophets. Everything we going now, that's why I'm reading you the old prophets of old now. This was the vision, this is the prophetic vision showing you when the restoration. After we be restored to the land, we build the temple, we build the slaughter place. All these things take place So I'm walking you through it now. So right here, it say after I have poured out my rains again, I will pour out my spirit upon all you. See that? We're in the land, so he pouring out his spirit. That's y'all that just came in the room. Want to interfere with me. My daughter just got him. You know, I will pour out my spirit upon all you, and your sons and your daughters will prophesy. See right there, brothers and sisters, how many people, majority of you know, and you heard this before. A lot of you still believe this. Now you can see the prophecy come after we be restored, after the rains come, and y'all restore the wealth back to us. So let's keep reading. When his people are going to begin to honestly prophesy again. Right now, people prophesying lies to you. So keep that in mind. So you got to read all that before to truly understand this one verse. Because a lot of people just pick out that verse and start telling you all of their lies. And tell you they had a dream about you. So right here, it says, and after I have poured out my rains upon you, I will pour out my spirit upon all you, and your sons and your daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams, and your young men see visions. And I will pour out my spirit even on your slaves. See that now we got slaves. It's the flip side. And men and women alike. Showing that we got no problem there because we don't have slaves. See, when we get back home and we're going to accumulate slaves, and he said even on the slaves they're going to be prophesied. So keep that in mind. It's right here. It say, and on your slaves, men and women alike, and put strange symbols in the earth and sky and blood and fire and pillars of smoke. See that? See how in the Matthew chapter 24, they tell you all these things took place before the false Messiah come back. You see that? That's a lie. Now you see that's a lie as well. See, it's after the Father pour out his spirit upon us, after we be restored to the land, we go home and be restored to the land, and then the Father put these spirits on, we can start seeing strange signs, and that's when we're going to start seeing all these strange signs. See? This what you see now is not the signs of Yah he's talking about. See? So keep that in mind. It's after we go home. So he said, and the sun will be turned into darkness and the moon to blood. Let me go back up. I skipped something. It said, and I will pour out my spirit even on your slaves, the men and women alike, and put strange symbols. See the strange symbols in the earth, in the sky, and the blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun will be turned into darkness and the moon into the blood before the great and terrible day of Yah shall come. You see that? Everyone who calls upon the name of Yah will be saved. See, at that time, even in Yah Shalom. See, we in Yah Shalom, some will escape just as Yah has promised, for he has chosen some to survive. See, he chosen some even of the other nations to survive. So keep that in mind. Because he already said 1/3, he already chosen 1/3 of our own nation to survive. So keep that. Y'all make the choice. We don't choose that. Y'all choose that. See, we only choose, we make the choice to obey Yah and then follow Yah, but he make the ultimate choice who he wants to survive and be there. So keep that in mind as well. As I got a little bit more to go in your room, y'all, right here to show you this. And see, this is the continuation of what's been said. So at that time, when I restored the prosperity, see, of Yah and Yah Shalom, see the capital city says Yah. Remember the latter rain and all the other things going to take place. I will gather the armies of the world into the valley where Yah judges and punish them for their harming my people. See that? For scattering my inheritance among the nations and dividing up my land. They divided up my people as their slaves. They traded a young lad for a prostitute and a little girl for wine enough to get drunk. So keep that in mind, brothers. So see, this is the order. I'm showing the order of Yah. We're going to take place in history. We're going to take place in the future, which is from the day we walking now to the time to go home and be restored. That's why we got to gather. That's why I am Yah here to gather you. I'm bringing you the words of Yah. The knowledge of Yah precedes all the gatherings, brothers. So you got to have the knowledge or you're not going to gather right. Just like a lot of people gathered went home too soon within our means and still slaves by the one they call illegal over there today. Europeans that the Father said going to be driven out of the land, and some going to fall Dead Sea, the Mediterranean Sea. There going to be much dead bodies. So keep that in mind, brothers and sisters. See, all this is y'all playing. We got to be, I'm showing you. It's plain and simple as that. Oh, you just carefully read it, brothers and sisters. Don't try to add to the words of Yah. You can't add the New Testament to the words of Yah. Because the New Testament contradicts the words of Yah. They put you 2,000 years too soon. They put you years way before what's going to really truly take place. Then you won't understand it. You'll be confused. You can't read this, the prophecy, then go to the New Testament and think you're getting some latter prophecy. It's not the same, brothers and sisters. They twist you. Only thing they do in the New Testament, they take certain prophecy, put it there, and then give you a lot of mixtures with a lot of falsehood. And you be totally confused. You be talking about a different message than what the prophets I just showed you. You got to know your own condition. Don't see the Europeans mixed and gave you a little bit of your condition with a lot of their fake falsehood. Why they killing you and going around robbing people's land. That's what's going on today. You see that? They all up in Africa. They're in China. They're all over here in this native land here in America. They took the islands. You see that? The one they call Nicholas V. 1452. Look that up. Nicholas V. A Pope. He made out a papal bull decree done to confiscate land, to enslave people. Yes, he the one sent out the decree in 1452 to dissuade. Then the Portuguese came into Africa and other nations and started ramming and taking us all across, just like the Father said. They didn't look at it like the Father said, but that's what's in their heart. The Father allowed to be in their heart and mind to carry out. So all y'all plan will be fulfilled. See, y'all word do not go back void, turn back void. Everything he said gonna take place. That's what's taking place now. The words of Yah is coming to you by Yahshua to deliver you. With that, I say, Todah Yah.